So I didn't have the intention of making a video kind of like this because I'm usually not the type to make just full-on hate videos on pretty much anything, whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's life, whether it's other people. I'm not that kind of person. I don't like hating on others. I don't like hating on games. But I do like talking about things that are just a tiny bit controversial, which in this case is going to be Modern Warfare 2 and our subsequent upcoming game, Modern Warfare 3. I'm not going to lie. I feel like we kind of got scammed just a tiny bit. Modern Warfare 2 was promised, swore up and down that the main reason you're going to want to buy this game is because it's going to be the first ever 2-year Call of Duty in what, like 15 years or however long it's been? And now we're finding out that that's just not the case. We're going to have an entirely new game developed by Sledgehammer that I guess was supposed to originally be an expansion for the game, which leads me to be even a little bit more afraid, because if this game was supposed to be an expansion, how much content are we actually going to get on launch? The reason why I would have wanted MW2 as much as I have many dislikes with this game, the reason why I wanted it to be a 2-year Call of Duty is to give them time to work out all of the issues that every single Call of Duty has on launch, which by this point is a feature. Every Call of Duty is built to have bugs on launch, and that's something that I've just accepted at this point. There's nothing we can do about it. These games are rushed every single year because they have to make a brand new one every single year, or Treyarch has to help every single studio every single time. And like in the case of Cold War, the game launches obviously kind of unfinished, but somehow ends up being the best Call of Duty out of the last few we've had. I won't go into that discussion though. But whenever we have these promises, it just never seems like anything has like a follow-up. You know, like we're promised it's going to be a 2-year Call of Duty. Then we're told it's some kind of weird expansion thing. Now we're just being told we're getting Modern Warfare 3. The reason why I got the game was because it's supposed to be a 2-year Call of Duty. You know? I didn't expect to be paying another $70 for an entirely new COD. Now, if it had a bit of an expansion, that'd be a little bit different because I'm building off of the current game that I got. But if I gotta start all over again, you know, like how we have to do every single year, which is fine. That's just how Call of Duty is nowadays. We've been doing that for a very long time now. Every single year there's a new grind, a new camo grind, something new to start over with, whatever. But I'm just disappointed because this game was supposed to be a 2-year Call of Duty. So I kind of went into it thinking, you know, I wanted to start over next year. And I know this game has had a lot of controversy, a lot of hate, and to be frank, deservedly so, just because there's so many weird design decisions with the game. I mean, they made all of the maps, for example, the maps are, in my opinion, are the weakest point of the game. They made all of the maps, and I just found this out on Twitter, they made them all with the mind of Search and Destroy, like with Search and Destroy in mind, and TDM. Not only is TDM not even played competitively, who builds maps around Team Deathmatch? Call of Duty has always been an OBJ heavy game, whether you're playing competitively or whether you're playing in pubs on Domination, Search and Destroy, Hardpoint, etc. Who the hell builds a game around Team Deathmatch? I've never heard that a day in my life. That's the first time I've ever heard of that for literally any single FPS. I've never heard of a game built around TDM, but I digress. They built the maps to have more of a, I guess, like a noob friendly environment in a way. You know, they're all randomized, they're all over the place. There's so many places to hide. It reminds me of like MW19. There were so many maps that were built for people to hide and, you know, sit in corners and stuff. And the devs even said they wanted a noob friendly experience. I remember watching the interview with the devs when they were talking about MW19 and the maps. How will the game affect, you know, the hardcore fan base, people that have loved Call of Duty all these years, because obviously they're designing these games with new people in mind. And the developers couldn't give a straight answer. They're just like, I don't really know, to be perfectly honest. I digress. So the maps are probably not the biggest issue when I think about it. You know, we've got a lot of problems still. I don't understand a lot of the design decisions with this game, on top of the fact that we're kind of getting scammed. You know, we don't have any red dots on the minimap, we don't have dead silence as a perk, and I don't see or understand why Infinity Ward is obsessed with living with that mindset. That does give me a little bit of hope for MW3 though in that department, because Sledgehammer, they at least listen to feedback. They tried to do the whole no dead silence, no red dots on the minimap thing. People said, no, we don't like this. It's stupid. Why? I'm all for innovation, by all means. I was a big fan of the jetpack games. People hated them. I loved them because of what they tried to do with them. I thought they were phenomenal. That being said, taking away dead silence as a perk and changing the minimap is an innovation. That's just changing shit for the sake of changing it. And everybody's gonna have varying opinions on this. I know some people say that the minimap change makes you have to be a little bit more aware, I guess you could say, competitively. But then when you go into ranked play and get teammates that do not communicate with you, it basically makes it very obvious as to why the minimap change is just kind of stupid. I don't have teammates that are communicating with me and letting me know when somebody's on a pinch or what direction exactly they're coming from, and the compass doesn't really help. I don't care what people say. Like, it's useful for knowing, I guess, kind of where the action is, but it doesn't help like a traditional minimap would. But I digress. With MW3, I'm cautious because of the fact that it's going from an expansion to a full Call of Duty. How much time are they going to have to develop on this? And we also know that Treyarch is going to, once again, have to take away from their game to work on this game because we're getting Zombies Outbreak 2.0, which was originally developed by Treyarch. Treyarch historically has always stuck to the roots of Call of Duty, whether it's Cold War, whether it's a jetpack game, whether it's Black Ops 2. We still have all the basics, the necessary perks, decent gun balance for the most part, save for like the Tech 9 when that released in Cold War. My God, that gun broke the game and it still breaks the game. They never nerfed it really. But Treyarch usually sticks to the roots of Call of Duty. They don't try to change stuff for the sake of just changing it. They adapt. They adapt to what's new. With Cold War, it felt like a old Call of Duty on a modernized engine. The movement, whether you liked it or disliked it, even I can admit it was a tiny bit clunky, it still felt like a modern Call of Duty with a older feel to it, or you could swap that around however you want. These newer games by IW, just they confuse me. They really confuse me sometimes. They want to bring in new fans, but then just kind of say to hell with the people that kind of built their community, And I know camping has been around for a long time, but again, going back to what I said about the maps earlier, I don't think I've ever played a game that's more dedicated to maps or to camping. I don't really get it. Everybody's always said they hate campers. Why did we start going in the direction of tactical warfare, blah, blah, blah? Like, I don't mind it on paper. Like, it's cool that they're trying a new approach. I'll give them that. Like, they want to try the whole tactical thing. I get it. I feel like that kind of stuff works better with like DMZ or Spec Ops or whatever, But the core Call of Duty experience has always been an arcadey feel, and I never understand the people that come into the community saying everything's supposed to be realistic. This is realistic. This is realistic. Call of Duty, even this game when it launched, was not realistic. You could dolphin dive out of a window that's 30 feet in the air and not break a rib and die. If we're talking about realism here, we can't skip out on certain elements. Let's be realistic, no pun intended. But I digress. Everybody's going to have an opinion on that. And to be frank, I'm not going to hate on the people that have their own opinions about the tactical elements or whatever. I don't agree with it at all. But everybody's going to have a varying opinion. So it's whatever. There's nothing I can do about that. That being said, though, let's go back to the scam part for a little bit. So $70 expansion turns into a $70 game. New experience. Everything got to start all over. We lose the entire purpose of why we want this game to be a 2-year Call of Duty. Unless all the progress we have in this game is going to carry over, which I don't see how, like, what are we going to be getting with this new game? This expansion was supposed to be an expansion. It's going to bring new maps. I'm going to assume new guns, etc. Maybe some overhauls to certain systems. Like, how are the perks going to be done? How is that going to happen? How are the kill streaks and stuff going to be done? How are the weapons going to be done? Are we going to have the whole Gunsmith 2.0? I'm going to assume we're going to have Gunsmith again, but we're going to have, like, tuning and shit, because we're going to get a new Warzone map. I don't know how they really correlated with that. I kind of lost my train of thought for a hot second. But, like, are we going to... What from this game is going to transfer over? Because there's a difference between a 2-year game with an expansion versus an entirely new title worked on by an entirely separate studio like Sledgehammer. How is this going to work? How is this fundamentally going to work? What's transferring over? And I know we're going to learn more over time, but the thing is, I think why people are upset and why I'm personally frantic about it is, like, we've got like 5 months. The game is supposed to apparently come out in November with announcements and stuff happening kind of in the summer / October, summer, fall, October, those regions. We didn't even know last year what was supposed to be happening. The pros don't know what's happening. They don't even know what game they're going to be playing next year, which is crazy to me. How you can have a $300 million franchise league, and at this point in the life cycle of competitive Call of Duty, which has been around since 2007, I don't care what anybody says, the competitive has been around for a long time. The fact that we don't even know what we're going to be seeing next year or what we're even going to be playing from both a casual and a competitive perspective, I'm massively confused. I hope they figure it out, and I hope we don't get another just borked launch. And I kind of know it's already going to happen, but at least, like I said earlier, Sledgehammer will listen to feedback. If something sucks, for the most part, ever since Michael Condrey left Sledgehammer, they will listen 99% of the time. Remember World War II, their other World War Call of Duty game? That game actually became incredible. It became phenomenal when they listened to feedback and decided that a lot of the design decisions didn't make sense. They changed so much about the game, and it honestly became like a B-tier Call of Duty. People hated that game. I kept playing after they made the massive changes, and my God, they made that game phenomenal. Like, it felt great to play. It was fun. It was arcadey. You could actually earn like credits and stuff in the game towards like contracts to get weapon variants and cool skins and all this shit. Like, yeah, loot crates like Black Ops 3 and AW and IW before it did, but the changes they made to that game honestly made it damn good. It's honestly extremely underrated. If I could play that game again, I will. If we ever get like a plutonium Call of Duty World War II, I don't freaking know, man. Maybe I'll try to boot up my old Xbox and see if we can find a lobby where a bunch of old dads are still reliving the glory days of World War II. Maybe we'll get lucky. I don't know, but if we can do that, I'll let you guys know. We'll see a video about it. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening with Activision anymore. It's like, since this whole Microsoft deal started, they're just trying to squeeze, give you the choke the chicken death grip, just to like get as much money as they can out of this game. They saw $1 billion and were probably like, holy smokes, wait, we can just do that again. Like, we don't need to make the game good. I remember hearing, I don't know who it was, it might have been Birdman talked about it, you know, where they make every single game kind of shitty in preparation for the next game. You know, like, the game does kind of bad. This game has had some really unfortunate reception. So now they're just kind of saying, like, whatever, we're just going to make it as shitty as possible so the next game will be hyped. I don't, maybe that's the marketing scheme. There's so many theories, conspiracy theories, patents, and wonders of the world. People think the skill-based damage is a thing, engagement-based like matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking is crazy. I don't freaking know, man. There's so much confusion with Call of Duty right now. Like, we got to find a direction. I am kind of hoping that the Microsoft deal will change some things. I don't think it will that much, but at least maybe we'll get like some kind of streamlined game like we were gonna get with SM2. I'm still so sad that actually got closed. Like, I wasn't super like vocal about that game at all because I didn't really know much about it. It was kind of private, you know. But that being said, seeing the progress they had recently made in the last year was incredible. So I was getting excited for it. I don't know. It's just weird how they're going in these directions. Like, they're changing their opinions and minds every single time. And sometimes it's good. They listen to feedback about things like kill streaks. You know, you can call in kill streaks and stuff faster. They listened on that, I guess. That counts for something. But then they just have these insane ideas, like with the minimap, with that silent stuff, changing the game to a full game instead of an expansion. I don't know. I don't really understand it. Another thing that I noticed too is with the throwback audio and the Call of Duty League 2023 Champion Pack, those two are probably the most scandalous packs I've ever seen in a game. Throwback audio pack. It's supposed to sound like something from 2009. Now, I've seen a lot of comments say it's a modernized version of the OG audio, etc., etc. You know, it's not going to sound like the OG ACR. It's called the Throwback Audio Bundle. What the hell do you mean it's not going to sound like the gun in 2009? It's called Throwback Audio Bundle. Hello? I don't understand that. I don't understand how people are actually defending that shit either. It blows my mind. It's called the Throwback Audio Bundle. But it doesn't sound like the audio that it's supposed to be throwing back to. It'd be different if it said like modernized throwback audio or I don't know, something like that maybe. But it just blatantly lied to us. And not only that, we only got 2 guns with it, which I don't get. They had all the opportunity in the world to give us like the intervention sound effect. But instead they just give us a Lockman AR build thing that's supposed to kinda, I guess, be like, I don't know, the ACR, I guess? I don't know. I don't understand the decision. Like, they had so many opportunities to make so much money with this game. They could keep making money with this game if it was a 2-year COD, and if they didn't just make some of the most insane, like, game design decisions that I've ever seen in my life. As far as the Champions pack, what's weird about that pack to me is the pack will give you an M4. Now, they've got this blinged out operator that just kind of looks like a big old middle finger, like, yeah, pay for this. You could be a king like us. You'll have all the bitches. We've got all the money. It's kind of cringe, to be perfectly honest. But the pack includes the M4. It's supposed to be a competitive-based pack around the CDL because the championship for the Call of Duty League is coming up soon. The World Championship, I guess you could call it, or playoffs or whatever. They're happening in June. But the Champions pack that's supposed to be dedicated to the CDL uses a gun that is banned, not only in ranked play, but in the actual league. Why the hell are we getting the M4 for the CDL World Championship bundle. Why? That's the biggest scam I've ever seen in my life. And it's also just the biggest middle finger. I don't get it. Like, I wouldn't really care. I don't care about how much it costs. It's just the fact that we're getting something that's completely unrelated to the CDL and ranked play. And to top it off, man, they also announced recently that the next 3 maps they're releasing are going to be more competitively focused. Guys, the competitive season ends in June. What the hell are we doing? We're not even going to be seeing these maps on these stages anymore. Ranked play, I guess they'll have them, but I mean, it's going to be time for the next Call of Duty. Nobody's going to give a shit about how competitive your new maps are when the game is pretty much already at the end of its life cycle. I don't understand that. Why don't we get that at the launch? Like, I understand you can't have everything competitively focused. Call of Duty is inherently a casual game. And I've accepted that. Like, it is what it is. It's how it's always been. But it just feels like some of the decisions they make are just a middle finger to the player base, to the competitive base, which I know doesn't make up a large portion of the game, but that just felt so weird to hear. Yeah, these next few maps are going to be releasing after the Call of Duty League season is over, and we have to wait like 4 months for the next part of the season to start up. We're going to release these cool competitive maps that we would have loved to have in the league during the first couple of months when we were struggling to figure out what the hell maps we were going to be playing. I don't get it. There's some strange design decisions with this game, some good, and the majority of them are coming from Ranked Play and Treyarch and Raven Software, not IW. I don't know. Like, I have my moments where I do enjoy the game. I'm not going to deny that. Some YouTubers say they don't. I don't really believe that. Like, this game has its moments of fun when you're just not being boned by the SPM, but I just don't understand their like design philosophies, and I don't like being lied to when it comes to games. They've been doing this shit for a while now, and it's kind of tiring. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, this kind of live commentary style, I will not deny the fact that Birdman and Scump, like OG Scump videos, kind of inspired me to want to do kind of content like this, but I just have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and I didn't feel like doing cut commentary for it. So, you know, I recorded some gameplay, and I'm currently talking to Sony Vegas while watching said gameplay. Again, thanks for watching, guys. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Sub to this channel. We are almost at 600 subscribers. This is my second channel that's going to be getting most of my attention for the next few months. I love making Call of Duty content, even on MW2, as ironic as that sounds, because I just enjoy playing Call of Duty naturally. I'm trying to make it through, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do. And we're going to keep the COD content coming, especially the Black Ops 3 content. You guys love that shit. But again, this was Jay the Gamer, guys. I will see you later. Peace.